the US government are massively putting pressure on TINUBU, and it's been reported that TINUBU is planning on withdrawing Nnamdi Kanu's case. A lot of people are saying, is the president fed up as regards the court case or his drug case in the US? At the same time, is he saying that Nnamdi Kanu deserves to be freed, even though the South of Sokoto and the Fulani Caliphate are not happy as regards this move by the president? What's your take as regards TINUBU planning to finally withdraw Nnamdi Kanu after cancelling his then sentence?
What is the northern government doing? What is their interest? Their interest is the same thing with Bola Ahmed Tinubu's interest. And I said that when a superior power steps in, inferior power gives space, gives chance. Nnamdi Kanu was a warning to them from the beginning. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is afraid of his shadows and his past, and the consequences of going against the might of the Western powers who invoked the law of self-determination, the international law that allows people to seek self-determination. Now, come to talk of it, if you look at what is playing now within the media circle now, the odds is against the federal government of Nigeria over the way and manner Nnamdi Kanu was handled. That is the first one. Then they tried as much as possible to weaken. You know, Nigeria is preparing towards disintegration. There's no doubt about it. You know, and they are looking at what they are going to do if there's anyhow they will continue to manage, you know, the already clear crack of disintegration, especially coming from the side, the region of Middle Belt, and over, you know, massive support for Biafra. The Biafran people is the only people, you know, that most minorities in Nigeria and most region in Nigeria are just looking up to, you know, to become a refuge point of defense against terrorism, terror attacks, or, you know, religious, you know, a cleansing, or what they call genocide, Christian genocide, or what they call whatever they will call it. But the reason why Bola Ahmed Tinubu seems to be soft pedaling over Nnamdi Kanu, not that he likes Nnamdi Kanu or like the Igbo people, or he actually wants Biafra. He never wanted it. He never believed, you know, that this thing will turn against him at the end of the day. Now, come to think of it. What was as you're looking at Nnamdi Kanu, remember that the US government said that Nnamdi Kanu is a symbol of Christian persecution, Christian genocide. That's what the congressman who is now contesting for governor of Michigan, James John, actually said, you know, that Nnamdi Kanu is a symbol of Christian persecution and Christian genocide. So that is the area they are looking for them to make that kind of statement. I know, of course, you know, Tinubu has been very uncomfortable, you know, with that kind of pronouncement coming from one of the most powerful nations in the world. They never believed it that it will happen. So, you know, that statement alone, you know, that pronouncement alone have started to change the narration. The position of the Middle Belters are shifting. You know, more awareness are being given to a state that is being believed, if pronounced and recognized, will be a safe haven for Christians. Then what is Bola Ahmed Tinubu calculating at this point now? He has looked at that his image in the United States of America has been sabotaged. I know. Secondly, Nigeria is at the point of, you know, total, you know, how would I describe it? You know, a loss of image. That's true. The president himself is battling at this point, because if you look at it very well, how would you going to explain to the people who actually handed over this power to him? Remember that it was the British government that handed over power to the Fulani. They didn't hand over power to Igbo. They didn't hand over power to Yoruba. They didn't hand over power to Hausa. They handed over power to the Fulani. And
was it intentional?
And I think it was intentional, because from the history, it is recorded that the Fulani people are not actually indigenous Nigerian as at that time. Let me just put it on. But for whatever is the reason, they handed over that power to Tafawa Balewa and Amadu Bello. They are not Hausas, they are Fulanis, and these are the people they actually handed over the power to. You know, but back to what we are discussing, why now Bola Ahmed Tinubu have come to that consciousness, that they need to withdraw from Nnamdi Kanu's case, stop further trial, because since February, Nnamdi Kanu, since February 2026, Nnamdi Kanu is highly qualified to appear before the court and begin his appeal court process, but it never happened. The delay was they were trying to look for a way, to escape the international wrath that is coming upon Asu Rock at the moment. But Nnamdi Kanu never shifted ground. Now what they did now is to start infiltrating, all the structures of IPOB, which of course definitely they have failed. Nnamdi Kanu beat them 100% at that point. Now went as far as appointing the new DOS, headed by Chris Nwogu. That notwithstanding, having done this thing bit by bit to the extent they deposited $9 million in United States of America to lobby American government to stop any further diplomatic relationship with agitating nations, and of course Biafra. Let me put it that way. It never worked. The whole thing continued to escalate. So it got to the consciousness that they even sent delegates to Donald Trump. Donald Trump actually turned those delegates down. Now they came up with a death threat to Nnamdi Kanu, and later they dropped. Now they come up again, and this is the last one. After Nnamdi Kanu actually wrote Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the federal government, to restart their appeal with immediate effect. I am not afraid to confront you because you have totally collapsed. There's no two ways about it. Now what they did now was to respond to Nnamdi Kanu's letter to the presidency that the appeal has been overdue and they should restart the case immediately. They come up with a reply. They are no longer interested in the death sentence anymore. They will not go that route anymore. Then come up with the date. Come on, what we are hearing now, that the responsibility that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has finally withdrawn from that matter, citing international pressure, citing a possible disintegration or recognition of Biafra. There's no need of it's a lost case already. What do we do? It's been properly advised. And look at 2027. Is on the ground. His image is already nailed on the cross in the United States of America over drug trafficking and drug-related issues. How do I manage to escape this? It becomes numerous challenges on the table of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Unfortunately, the Northerners pushed him to that point, and he accepted because he felt that sentencing Nnamdi Kanu will mean total surrender and conquest of the Biafran nation. But he didn't know that behind the scene lies the lion himself, and he has seen the result spreading everywhere. How is he going to cope with Simon Ekpa out and Nnamdi Kanu out? I don't know how you are going to cope at the end of the day. I don't know how Nigeria is going to cope when these two forces are eventually released to the public. I don't know how Bola Ahmed Tinubu intend to stand up.
This is a confusion for Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Asu Rock, because just like you said, the drug case now, a lot of it because just recently it was reported that the Asu Rock were blaming IPOB for wanting Tinubu's drug fight case to be exposed or make it global. And at the same time, do you not think, just like you said now, Ekpa released the second coming of Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu coming out, do you not think Tinubu now is in a confused state? Because the North now saying Nnamdi Kanu should remain where he is, and at the same time that Simon Ekpa must remain where he is. But do you not think them coming out, Tinubu is kind of confused? Tinubu wants them to come out, obviously. Do you not think the North are putting more pressure on Tinubu that no, it will not happen? But
if you look at what the Bishop Olainko said when he visited at Aso Rock. He made it very clearly. He said he has not been able. This is the first time that the president looks so unhappy, looks so confused, looks so sad. You begin to wonder what is going on. What is going on is the issue of Biafra and Nnamdi Kanu, the calamity and the shame. And not only that, how will the Biafra look at the Yoruba in time to come? This is the question he's asking himself. He look at the north and he look at Malami. Erufai, he held them because these are the people who advised him to go and carry Nnamdi Kanu. He's running away from Sokoto, Sokoto at this point in time, and they are insisting that he must not leave. And he's telling them, no, this has brought trouble to me. He has brought the issue of drug. It has brought it has brought me to the point that it's likely I'm going to lose election because the entire middle belt, the entire south, the entire southeast. I will not even spend 15%. They are talking less of 25%. I am facing threats from United States of America. I am also, not in good terms with Donald Trump. I am facing possible ICC and of course international contravening international law. So he FBI. So he is in a state of Amankabe, man. And that's the fact. So, like Bishop Olayinka said, now when they saw him, that he has been a very sad man. And if you look at Bola Ahmed Tinubu recently, when he's speaking on national TV, you look at him, he's not a happy man, because all his plan and all his plots against Nnamdi Kanu, against Christians in Nigeria here have totally failed. The only thing he was able to capture, and which also has taken another direction and another position against him, is the endorsement of the Muslim ticket.
But just like what you think that for what Nnamdi Kanu really said, that there are plans, by the Fulanis to take over or Islamize Nigeria. Do you not think the Nigerian pastors should be ashamed of themselves not speaking on, for Nnamdi Kanu's release?
It's unfortunate, rather too late. Nnamdi Kanu has a God that believes that his mission was not just about the Christians in Nigeria. It goes beyond that. They needed to have a Christian nation to protect Christians in Africa, not only in Nigeria. They might not be able to speak up, but they know that Nnamdi Kanu stands on the side of the truth, which most of them reacted when the Sheikh, the Islamic scholar Yahya Jengi, came out and threatened and ordered and even declared that Nigeria is an Islamic nation. You can see some of the pastors, Pastor Dynamics, Pastor Eneche, reacted. Some of them reacted. Ayodele, irrespective that we don't have any atom of this thing, but at least they were able to have some more courage to speak up. That they are on the side of what they are telling you. They are on the side. They have alternative, and they know there's no bishop, there's no Christian, there's no pastor who does not know that Biafra is the alternative for Christians in Nigeria. There's no pastor. Right inside their consciousness, they know the truth that the Biafran soldiers are more powerful and sophisticated than even the Fulani jihadists when the time comes at the end of the day, because they have the capacity and they have what it takes to defend Biafra and defend Christianity in Biafra land. And that is the fact. So, Nnamdi Kanu, to an extent, has gone beyond that level of trying to compromise with Nigerian government, even though we are hearing today that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is already begging him with everything, everything, removing, no more appeal, no more court. I'm not saying, please just accept this. No more. Look at him saying clearly that they have withdrawn any form of charges, against Nnamdi Kanu. Kanu's appeal. They have also withdrawn the death threat of Nnamdi Kanu's appeal. You can see I don't want to do so. He is clearing, he is removing all those obstacles, giving signs that the last time he went there, American Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who has the mandate to Aso Rock to release Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally. That's what the U.S. Congress said. But we want to make it conditional. And Nnamdi Kanu is saying unconditionally. You know, he's trying to bring in conditions to Nnamdi Kanu's release, and you can see the way he's going now. Every other charges they come up with at the end of the day, the TINUBU has ordered a stop to that, including the death, you know, sentence, which is a big news, you know, for Nnamdi Kanu, that his release is just around the corner. That's what it means. And I believe too, Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State to Donald Trump, U.S. government, is also speaking to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, talking to Aso Rock, you know, giving the mandate given to him by the U.S. Congress to release, negotiate and release Nnamdi Kanu, you know, unconditionally.
Okay, but a popular activist in US called, you know, who has a platform called, you know, Bob's Corner, is saying that what? He's saying the only way that, you know, the genocide can stop in Nigeria is by Donald Trump training and arming the Biafran Christian youth. Do you agree with that notion?
It's not only him, Bob, that have taken that position. Mark Andon has also taken that position. Former Secretary of State of the United States of America, Mike Pompeo, has also taken that position. You know, former NATO chief, you know, Walid, you know, has also taken that. Walid Fares has also taken that position. You know, recently we noted that Amir Hanna has also taken that position. Some powerful Americans and of course congressmen have also taken that position. That yes, sophistication of the Biafran nation will reduce the pressure on Western world, the international community, the AU, you know, and American military, including the Israeli military, on the issue of trying to cope the spread and the rise of radical Islamism and jihadists within West Africa and Africa as a whole, and of course become a safe and a refuge center for Christians in Africa and in Nigeria. There's no two ways about it. So I think that suggestion is in the right direction, and I can tell you, you know, people are just waiting. Biafrans are waiting for that recognition, no matter where it's going to come from. And I think, you know, it will. Nnamdi Kanu, I told you, they cannot recognize Nnamdi Kanu while Nnamdi Kanu is in Sokoto prison. I keep on saying, go and mark me. Very soon you will hear the real story. You know, it will come out that, you know, what the way and manner. I told you that time you will understand what I mean by a superior force stepping in. Nigeria will not have anything to say about it. I remember today, America is battling extremism. The Israeli government has come out to say that now it is Republic of Britain is now Republic of Islam. You know, Islamic Republic of Britain. I can imagine coming from the Israeli Prime Minister himself, you know, talking to Britain, our former colonial, you know, a master. So you know what it means now. So there is engineering globally, and it is definitely the negotiation that is going among world leaders and across the world is definitely going to see to the rise and recognition of Biafra as a sovereign nation.